The hospital lights are too bright. That's Flora's first thought when Do-jin's Maybach screeches to a halt in front of Seoul National University Hospital's emergency entrance. Too bright and too white, like they're designed to expose every secret you've ever tried to hide. Do-jin is out of the car before it's fully stopped, leaving the door hanging open, the engine still running. Flora watches him disappear through the sliding glass doors, and for a moment she just sits there in the chocolate brown dress with the zipper still half undone, trying to remember how to breathe. He didn't wait for her, didn't look back, didn't even remember she existed. She pulls the zipper back up with shaking fingers, grabs her clutch, and follows him inside. The emergency room is chaos. A child crying somewhere. The antiseptic smell that all hospitals have, like they're trying to cover up death with bleach. Flora's heels click against the linoleum as she searches for Do-jin, and she finds him at the nurse's station, both hands planted on the counter, leaning forward with an intensity that makes the young nurse step back. "Choi Yuna," he's saying, and his voice is barely controlled. "She was brought in. Car accident. Where is she?" "Sir, I need you to." "Where is she?" Flora touches his arm. "Do-jin." He flinches like she's burned him, but doesn't turn around. The nurse's eyes flick between them, taking in Flora's dress, Do-jin's tuxedo, the dragon tattoo crawling up his neck, making calculations. "She's in surgery," the nurse says carefully. "Third floor, but you'll have to wait in." Do-jin is already moving toward the elevators. Flora follows, because what else can she do? The surgical waiting room on the third floor is empty except for an older woman in nurse's scrubs, her face red and swollen from crying. She looks up when they enter, and her expression crumbles further when she sees Do-jin. "Do-jin-ah," she whispers, standing. They said she might not." Do-jin crosses the room in 3 strides and pulls her into his arms. The woman, Yuna's mother, Flora realizes with a sick twist in her stomach, sobs against his chest, and Do-jin just holds her, one hand on the back of her head, murmuring something too low for Flora to hear. Flora stands by the door, suddenly aware that she doesn't belong here. This is grief. This is family. This is a world she was never part of, no matter how many nights she spent in Do-jin's bed. "What happened?" Do-jin asks finally, pulling back just enough to look at Yuna's mother's face. "She was leaving the gala," the older woman says, wiping at her eyes with shaking hands. "Her car, someone hit her, head on. They said the other driver ran a red light, but..." Her voice breaks. "She's been in surgery for an hour. They won't tell me anything." "She's going to be fine," Do-jin says, and it's not comfort, it's a command. Like he can force the universe to obey through sheer will. Yuna's mother nods, wanting to believe, and then her eyes land on Flora for the first time. Flora sees the moment of confusion, the question, then recognition. They'd been introduced at the charity auction months ago, followed by something that looks almost like disappointment. Do-jin pulls out his phone. "I'm going to call the chief surgeon, get an update." He walks to the far corner of the waiting room, already dialing, and Flora is left standing there with Yuna's mother's eyes on her face. "You're the event planner," the older woman says, not unkind but not warm either. "Yes, ma'am." "You were at the gala with Do-jin." It's not a question, but Flora nods anyway. Yuna's mother's lips press together. "Yuna called me before she left. She said Do-jin seemed happy tonight. Lighter. She thought maybe." The woman trails off, shaking her head. "But then she saw him leave early, with you." The accusation is gentle, but it lands like a slap. Do-jin returns before Flora can respond. The surgery is going well. Another hour, maybe 2. The chief surgeon is one of the best in the country. "Thank God," Yuna's mother exhales shakily. Flora pulls out her phone, 3 messages from Mina. She types back quickly, "At the hospital. Yuna was in an accident, I'm fine." "You should go," Do-jin says quietly, and Flora looks up to find him watching her. The words are quiet, but they cut clean through. "What?" "There's nothing you can do here. I'll call you a car." Flora's laugh is sharp and bitter. "Your car is you, Do-jin, and it's illegally parked downstairs." "Then I'll have someone pick you up. Go home, Flora." "You dragged me out of the gala, and now you're dismissing me like..." She stops, aware of Yuna's mother's eyes on them. "Fine, I'll go." She turns toward the elevators, and his hand catches her wrist. Flora. She looks back at him, and the expression on his face is so conflicted, so raw, that it almost breaks her. I can't, he stops, starts again. Not tonight, I can't give you what you need tonight. I'm not asking you for anything. Aren't you? His grip tightens fractionally. Everything about you is asking, Flora, but I can't. Not here, not now. Flora pulls her wrist free. Message received. The elevator doors close on Do Jin's face, still standing there, still watching her with those unreadable dark eyes. It's only when she's outside, the cold December air hitting her bare shoulders, that she realizes she's crying. She pulls out her phone to call a car, and Minwoo's business card falls out of her clutch. Flora stares at it for a long moment, then she picks it up and calls the number. He answers on the second ring. Ms. Kim, I didn't expect to hear from you so soon. Can you give me a ride? 15 minutes later, a silver Mercedes pulls up. Minwoo leans over to open the passenger door, still in his tuxedo. Rough night. You could say that. He doesn't pry, just pulls smoothly into traffic. Flora gives him her address, then leans her head against the window. The nurse, Minwoo says after a few minutes. Yuna, I heard about the accident. Flora's eyes snap open. How did you? I keep tabs on things that affect my interests. Do Jin's childhood friend ends up in the hospital the same night he leaves a gala early. Minwoo's smile is apologetic. Not hard to connect the dots. Your interests? Do Jin is my competitor, Ms. Kim. Understanding what matters to him is good business. Flora turns to look at him fully. And what do you think matters to him? Control, power, legitimacy, and apparently a nurse who reminds him he used to be human. Minwoo glances at her briefly. I know he's using you to look respectable, but he'll never actually claim you, not in the way that matters. Flora's hands clench in her lap. You seem very confident about what Do Jin will or won't do. Because I know men like him, I was almost a man like him. Minwoo's voice is surprisingly gentle. My father ran the same kind of business. I watched what it did to him, so I got out, built something real. He pulls up in front of Flora's building. You're talented, Flora. You could be planning events for Samsung, for Hyundai. Instead, you're planning parties for a crime lord who keeps you hidden like a dirty secret. He brought me to the gala tonight, and then left you at a hospital while he rushed to another woman's side. Minwoo's voice is kind, but the truth still stings. You deserve to be someone's priority, not their convenience. Flora stares at the dashboard. Why do you care? Because I see something in you that reminds me of my sister. She fell for a man like Do Jin once, thought her love would be enough to pull him out of the darkness. Minwoo's jaw tightens. It wasn't, and by the time she realized it, getting out nearly destroyed her. He pulls out another business card. That offer I made at the gala, it stands. My firm is hosting a New Year's Eve party at the Signal. I'd love to have you plan it. Full creative control, double your usual rate. Flora takes the card. Think about it, Minwoo says. No pressure, but if you ever want to step into the light instead of hiding in someone's shadow, the door is open. Flora gets out without answering. Her apartment is exactly as she left it that morning. Flora strips out of the chocolate brown dress and leaves it in a pool on the floor, steps into the shower and lets the water run hot enough to hurt. When she checks her phone, there are no messages from Do Jin. But there's one from Mina. I'm coming over, don't argue. 20 minutes later, Mina is at her door with soju and ice cream. Talk, Mina demands. So Flora talks. About the gala, about Minwoo's dance, about Do Jin's jealousy and the phone call that changed everything, about standing in that waiting room feeling like a ghost. That bastard, Mina says when Flora finishes. You can be mad that he dismissed you the second something more important came up. Maybe I'm not someone he cares about, Flora whispers. Then why are you still doing this? Because I love him, Flora says, and saying it out loud makes it real. God help me, Mina, I love him. They drink soju and eat ice cream until dawn. Mina falls asleep on Flora's couch, but Flora lies awake, phone silent beside her. Do Jin doesn't call. At 7:30, her phone finally buzzes, but it's not Do Jin. It's a news alert. Breaking, Prominent nurse Choi Yuna in critical condition after late-night collision. Police investigating possible foul play. Flora's blood runs cold. Possible foul play. Someone hit Yuna on purpose. Flora is dressed in 10 minutes. Mina wakes as Flora grabs her keys. Where are you going? Hospital. Something's wrong. They take a taxi, and when the elevator doors open on the third floor, Flora nearly crashes into Do-jin. He looks like he hasn't slept. Tie gone, tuxedo jacket discarded, white shirt wrinkled. The dragon tattoo seems darker somehow. Flora, he sounds surprised. What are you doing here? I saw the news. They said possible foul play. Go home. Do-jin, if someone targeted Yuna. I said go home. He steps around her and Flora grabs his arm. Don't shut me out. Do-jin looks at her hand on his arm, then up at her face. This isn't your world, Flora. This is the part I've kept you away from. Someone went after Yuna because of me, because she matters to me. And if they know about you, he stops. You need to go home, lock your doors. I'll have someone watching your building. Someone? You think I'm in danger? I think anyone connected to me is in danger right now. Do-jin pulls his arm free. I can't protect you and figure out who did this, and his voice cracks. Please, just go. Mina tugs at Flora's sleeve. Come on. But Flora can't move. Can't stop staring at Do-jin's face, at the devastation written across it. How is she? Flora asks quietly. Out of surgery, stable, medically induced coma. He swallows hard. They won't know the full extent until they won't know. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry, just be safe. He looks at her one more time, something almost like goodbye in his eyes. Then he walks back toward the waiting room. Mina physically pulls Flora toward the elevator. If someone's targeting people he cares about, you need to be somewhere safe. But as they ride down, Flora can't stop replaying Do-jin's words. Anyone connected to me is in danger. Does he care about her? Enough that someone would target her too? Or is she so far outside his real life that whoever hit Yuna doesn't even know Flora exists? Back at her apartment, Mina insists on staying. After she leaves, Flora sits on her couch and stares at nothing. Yuna in a coma. Someone targeting Do-jin. Do-jin telling her to stay away. Her phone rings. Minwoo. Flora stares at the screen. She should let it go to voicemail. She answers. Ms. Kim, I heard about the nurse. Terrible situation. A pause. The police are being tight-lipped, but word is this wasn't random. Someone wanted to send Do-jin a message. Flora's hand tightens on the phone. What kind of message? The kind that says going soft makes you vulnerable. Minwoo's voice is gentle. Flora, I'm worried about you, if you're connected to Do-jin in any way. He told me to stay away. And you should listen. But if you need somewhere safe, my offer still stands. Protection. My building has security, you'd be safe there. Why would you do that for me? Because not everyone in this city operates on threats and violence. Some of us still believe in helping people. Flora closes her eyes. I need to think. Don't think too long. When men like him go to war, innocent people get caught in the crossfire. He hangs up, and Flora sits in silence. Her phone buzzes with a text from Do-jin. Security assigned to your building. Don't leave unless necessary. I'll contact you when this is resolved. Not are you okay, not I'm sorry, just commands. Flora looks at Minwoo's business card. Full creative control, double her rate, a way out of the shadows. She picks up her phone and calls Minwoo back. I'll do it, she says. The New Year's Eve party, I'll plan it. Excellent, when can you start? Today, right now. I need to get out of this apartment. Then, I'll have my driver pick you up in 30 minutes. Flora texts Mina, taking that job with Minwoo. Need to keep busy. Mina's response is immediate. Are you insane? Do-jin will lose his mind. Flora types back, then let him. She showers, changes into professional clothes, and when Minwoo's driver arrives, she doesn't look back. The Signal Seoul towers over the city. Minwoo meets her in the lobby, polished and professional. They ride the elevator to the grand ballroom on the 123rd floor, and Flora's breath catches. The space is massive, elegant, floor-to-ceiling windows offering a panoramic view of Seoul. What do you think? Minwoo asks. I think it's perfect. Flora walks to the windows. What's your vision? Hope. I want them to feel like anything is possible, like they're starting fresh. Flora nods, her mind already spinning with ideas. They spend 3 hours going over details. Minwoo doesn't flinch when Flora quotes her doubled rate. It's professional, respectful, everything her working relationship with Do-jin has never been. Flora is sketching floor plans when her phone buzzes. Do-jin. Where are you? Security says you left. Working, she types back. I have a business to run. The response is immediate. It's not safe. Come back. I'm perfectly safe. Stop tracking me. 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. Then we need to talk. Tonight. Can't tonight, she types. I have a deadline. The dots appear again, but no message comes. Flora silences her phone. Minwoo's driver takes her home that evening. Flora walks into her building to find a man in a black suit in her hallway. She freezes, reaching for her phone, but he holds up a hand. Ms. Kim, I'm Detective Park from Seoul Metro Police. He pulls out a badge. I need to ask you some questions about Park Do-jin. Flora's heart pounds. What kind of questions? Can I come in? Every instinct screams no, but Detective Park's expression is professional, and Flora finds herself nodding. They sit in her living room. You're associated with Mr. Park. Romantically, I'm told. Who told you that? I'm investigating the collision that injured Choi Yuna. We have evidence suggesting it wasn't an accident. We're looking into anyone who might have wanted to hurt Mr. Park through his associates. Flora's mouth goes dry. You think someone targeted Yuna because of Do-jin? We think it's a possibility, which is why I need you to tell me everything you know about Mr. Park's business dealings. I don't know anything about his business. Ms. Kim. I plan events for him, that's it. Detective Park studies her. Mr. Park is a dangerous man, Ms. Kim. Whatever relationship you think you have with him, you should understand that people in his world don't have relationships. They have leverage. And right now, you're leverage. The word hits like a physical blow. If I were you, Detective Park continues, standing, I'd put some distance between myself and Park Do-jin before someone decides you're a message worth sending. He leaves his card and shows himself out. Flora sits in silence, Detective Park's words echoing. Your leverage. Her phone rings, Do-jin finally calling. Flora stares at his name on the screen. 6 months of falling for him, 6 months of being his secret. She answers. Where were you? Do-jin's voice is tight with anger. Working, like I said. You weren't at your office. Mina said you had a consultation, but she didn't know where. Since when do I need to report my schedule to you? Since someone tried to kill Yuna, and now they're asking questions about you. Flora goes cold. What kind of questions? The kind that means they know you exist. The kind that means you're on someone's radar. Do-jin's voice is strained. Flora, I need you to tell me where you were today. I was at a venue consultation for a client. What client? Flora hesitates. What client? Minwoo. Kang Minwoo hired me to plan his New Year's Eve party. The silence is so complete that Flora thinks he might have hung up. You went to Minwoo. He offered me a job. I took it. After I specifically told you to stay away from him. Flora's grip tightens on her phone. You told me a lot of things, Do-jin, but you know what you never told me, that I actually mattered to you. Flora. No, let me finish. I've spent 6 months being your secret, your after-dark entertainment, and I told myself it was okay. But last night at that hospital, watching you hold Yuna's mother, I finally understood. I'm not the person you'd rush to the hospital for. I'm just the person you keep in the shadows. That's not true. Isn't it? Then tell me, Do-jin. When Yuna's mother asked about me, what did you say? Silence. That's what I thought. You don't understand the position I'm in. Then explain it to me. Yuna is in a coma because someone wanted to hurt me. She's lying in a hospital bed because she made the mistake of being someone I care about. And you want that. You want to be the next target. I want to be someone you're willing to protect, someone you consider worth the risk. You think I'm not protecting you? Who do you think assigned security to your building? Who do you think has been tracking your phone? Du Jin's voice cracks. I'm trying to keep you alive, Flora, and you're making it impossible by running straight to the one person who would use you against me. Minwoo isn't using me. He's offering me a legitimate job, professional respect, and the chance to be seen as something other than a crime lord's plaything. The words hang in the air, poisonous and true. Is that what you think you are to me? Du Jin's voice has gone quiet. A plaything. What else should I think? You won't claim me. You told me from the start this was just physical. Then you're an idiot. Flora almost laughs. Excuse me. You're an idiot if you think I'd go through this much trouble for someone who didn't matter. You're an idiot if you think I track your location and assign security and lose sleep worrying about you for someone I just want to fuck. Du Jin's voice is rough. You want the truth. I keep you separate from my world because my world destroys everything it touches. I keep you hidden because the moment people know you matter to me, you become a weapon they can use. And I told you this was just physical because I'm a fucking coward who can't admit that it stopped being physical months ago. Flora sinks onto her couch. Du Jin. But you want to work for Minwoo. Fine, work for him. Just don't come crying to me when you figure out what his real game is. What's that supposed to mean? It means Minwoo doesn't do anything without an angle, and hearing you, being seen with you, that's all designed to provoke me. Du Jin's voice drops. And the worst part is it's working. Flora doesn't know what to say. Come to my place, tonight, Du Jin says. We'll talk, really talk, no more half-truths. Every instinct is screaming at her to say yes. But Detective Park's words echo, your leverage. I can't, Flora whispers. Flora. I need time, Du Jin. I need to think about whether this is actually good for me. The silence stretches so long that Flora checks her phone. Take your time, Du Jin finally says, his voice hollow. But Flora, be careful with Minwoo. Whatever he's offering, it comes with a price. He hangs up. Flora sits in the dark, trying to make sense of what just happened. Du Jin basically admitted he cares about her, but he also confirmed all her worst fears. She's a weapon. She's leverage. Is that love, or just another form of possession? Her phone buzzes. Mina. SOS, need you. Can you come over? Flora doesn't hesitate. Where are you? At my place. Please, Flora. Flora grabs her coat and runs the whole way. She pounds on Mina's door, and her assistant opens it immediately. Mina's face is blotchy from crying, and there's a bruise forming on her cheekbone. Oh my God, Flora pushes inside. What happened? My ex, Mina's voice shakes. He showed up drunk, started screaming. When I said I didn't have money, she touches her cheek. He's never hit me before. Flora pulls Mina into a hug. Did you call the police? No, he'll come back, he'll be worse. Flora thinks about Du Jin's security, about Minwoo's offer of protection. Pack a bag, Flora says. You're staying with me, and tomorrow we're getting you a restraining order. They pack quickly and make it back to Flora's apartment without incident. Flora sets Mina up in her guest room and sits with her until the shaking stops. It's after midnight when Flora crawls into bed, exhausted. Her phone has 6 missed calls, 3 from Du Jin, 2 from unknown numbers, 1 from Minwoo. She ignores all of them. Tomorrow comes too fast. Flora wakes to pounding on her door, aggressive, insistent. She checks the peephole. A man she doesn't recognize, suit, sunglasses. Ms. Kim, he calls. I'm here on behalf of Park Du Jin. I need you to come with me. It's urgent. Flora's heart hammers. I'm not going anywhere. If Du Jin wants to talk, he can call. Ma'am, this isn't a request. There's been a development. It's about Choi Yuna. Mr. Park needs you at the hospital. Flora's blood runs cold. Yuna, something happened. She doesn't stop to think. She throws on clothes, scribbles a note for Mina, and follows the man downstairs to a black SUV. It's only when they pull away, heading in the wrong direction, that Flora realizes her mistake. This isn't the way to the hospital, she says. Change of plans, the driver says. Flora tries her door handle, locked. Let me out. Can't do that, Ms. Kim. The man in the passenger seat plucks her phone from her hand. Sorry about this. Nothing personal, just business. The SUV drives for 30 minutes. They pull into an underground parking garage, and Flora is escorted to an elevator. The elevator opens onto a penthouse apartment, modern, glass and steel. And standing by the windows is Kang Minwoo. "Ms. Kim, I'm sorry about the dramatic entrance." Flora's fear crystallizes into rage. "You kidnapped me." "I invited you, urgently." Minwoo gestures to his men. "You can go." Suddenly Flora is alone with Minwoo. No phone, no way out. "I could scream," Flora says. "This building is soundproofed. Please sit. I promise I'm not going to hurt you. I needed to talk to you privately, away from Do Jin's surveillance." "So you had me abducted." Minwoo sighs. "There's a difference. You're right. This was aggressive, but I didn't have a choice. What I need to tell you, Do Jin can't know." Flora crosses her arms. "Then tell me and let me go." "Do Jin didn't tell you the whole truth about Yuna's accident." Minwoo pulls out a tablet with surveillance footage. "The car that hit her, it was meant for you, Flora." Flora can't breathe. The room tilts. "You're lying." "I wish I was." He shows her footage, a car following another car. "This is the car that hit Yuna, and this," he swipes. "This is them parked outside your building 2 hours earlier. They were looking for you. They got the wrong woman." Flora sinks onto the couch. "How do you have this?" "Connections in the police department. When I heard about Yuna, I started digging." Minwoo crouches in front of her. "Do Jin knows this. He figured it out yesterday. That's why he's been so adamant about you staying away, because being connected to him nearly got you killed." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because you deserve to know." Minwoo sits back. "I'm not the good guy, Flora. I want Do Jin gone from the underground scene. And you're the pressure point. You're the thing that could make him choose." "Choose what?" "You or his empire. The life that's destroying him or the chance at something real." Minwoo stands. "Do Jin is at a crossroads. If he has a reason to walk away, he might do it." Flora shakes her head. "You want me to be an ultimatum?" "I want you to be the reason he chooses life over death. Because right now, he's spiraling. Yuna's accident is only going to make it worse. He's going to go to war, unless someone stops him, unless someone gives him a reason to step back." "And you think that's me?" "I think you're the only person he'd listen to, but you can't do that if you're dead, which is why I'm offering protection, real protection, a new identity, a new city if necessary." "In exchange for what?" "For walking away, for leaving Seoul, for letting Do Jin believe you chose your safety over him." Minwoo's voice is gentle. "It's the only way he'll let you go, and it might be the only thing that shocks him into change." Flora stares at him. "You want me to break his heart to save him?" "I want you to survive, and I want Do Jin to have a chance at surviving too, because the path he's on, it ends with him in prison or in the ground, and you'll end up there with him if you don't get out now." Flora's mind is spinning. Yuna's accident was meant for her. Do Jin has known and didn't tell her. Minwoo wants her to manipulate Do Jin into leaving his life behind. "I need to think," Flora whispers. "Think fast, because whoever tried to kill you once will try again." He escorts her back to the elevator, hands her phone back. "My driver will take you home. Whatever you decide, I meant what I said about the job." The ride back is silent. Flora stares at her phone, 12 missed calls, 9 from Do Jin. Someone tried to kill her. Yuna is in a coma because she was mistaken for Flora. Do Jin has known and didn't tell her. Back at her apartment, Mina is in the kitchen. "Where were you?" Flora opens her mouth, closes it. "I need you to tell me the truth," she finally says. "About Do Jin, about his world. No more protecting me." Mina sets down her mug. "Okay, sit down." Mina tells her everything. Do Jin's reputation, the rumors of people who crossed him and disappeared, the money laundering, the gambling, the protection rackets. "He's not evil," Mina says carefully, "but he's dangerous, and being with him means accepting that danger." "Like Yuna." Mina nods. Flora's phone rings. Do Jin, again. This time, she answers. "Where the hell have you been?" His voice is raw with panic. "My security lost track of you and, Flora, where are you?" "Home, I'm home." "Stay there, I'm coming over." "No." The word hangs between them. Flora, I know about Yuna. I know the accident was meant for me. I know you've been keeping that from me. Flora's voice cracks. I know I can't do this anymore, Do-jin. The silence is devastating. Who told you? He finally asks, voice so quiet, so defeated. Does it matter? Minwoo, he took you. He told me the truth, something you should have done. I was protecting you. By lying, by deciding what I could handle. Flora paces her kitchen. I'm not a child. I deserve to know someone tried to kill me. And what would knowing have changed, except making you terrified? It would have let me make my own choices. Flora's voice rises. But you don't let me make choices. You just decide what's best and expect me to accept it. I do love you. The words should be everything, but they land hollow. Then let me go, Flora whispers. What? Let me go, Do-jin. Let me walk away. Let me have a life where I don't wonder if today's the day someone mistakes me for a target. Flora, don't do this. I'm not doing anything. I'm asking you to care about me enough to let me go. She can hear him breathing, harsh and ragged. I can't, he finally says. I can't let you go. I can't wake up not knowing if you're safe. Then what do I do? How do I stay with you knowing that being yours makes me a target? I'll find whoever did this. I'll eliminate the threat. And then what? There'll just be another threat, another enemy. Flora sits. This isn't living, this is surviving, and I don't want to just survive anymore. Silence stretches between them. I need time, Flora says. I need to think about what I want, and I need you to give me space. How much time? I don't know, a week, maybe more. A week for you to let Minwoo convince you that I'm the monster and he's the hero. This isn't about Minwoo. Everything is about Minwoo right now. He's in your head, Flora. Maybe, or maybe he's saying things you should have said months ago. Flora closes her eyes. I have to go. Flora. Goodbye, Do-jin. She hangs up and immediately turns off her phone. Mina reaches across the table and takes Flora's hand. Are you okay? No, Flora says honestly. I'm really, really not. They sit like that for a long time, holding on to each other in the wreckage of Flora's life, while outside, Seoul keeps moving, indifferent to one more heart breaking in its endless sprawl. Flora doesn't leave her apartment for 3 days. On the 4th day, her doorbell rings. She checks the peephole, expecting Do-jin. Instead, she sees Yuna's mother. Flora opens the door. Ms. Kim, may I come in? They sit in Flora's living room. Yuna woke up yesterday, the older woman says. She's going to be okay. Flora's eyes fill with tears. Thank God. She remembers the accident. They told her this morning it was meant for you. Yuna's mother looks at Flora directly. Do-jin hasn't left the hospital since she woke up. Yesterday, she asked him about you, asked if you were safe. The older woman's voice is gentle. Do you know what he said? Flora shakes her head. He said you were safe, and that's all that mattered. That you being alive was the only thing that let him breathe. Yuna's mother leans forward. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I am here to tell you something about my daughter. What, that? Yuna has loved Do-jin since she was 14 years old. Watched him grow up, watched him change, watched his father die, and watched what it did to him. And for 20 years, she's held on to that love, even knowing he could never love her back, not the way she wanted. Yuna's mother's eyes are kind but sad. And yesterday, when she woke up and saw him sitting there, the first thing she said was, you need to go to her. Not, I almost died for you. Not, I'm angry. Just, you need to go to Flora. Flora's tears spill over. Because Yuna knows something that maybe you don't see yet. Do-jin loves you in a way he's never loved anyone, in a way that terrifies him. And that terror is making him stupid, making him overprotective and controlling and all the things that push you away. Yuna's mother stands. I can't tell you if loving him is worth the risk. Only you can answer that. But I can tell you that if you walk away now, you'll spend the rest of your life wondering what could have been. And from what I've seen, that's its own kind of death. She leaves before Flora can respond, and Flora sits in her empty apartment, staring at her turned-off phone, trying to decide if she's brave enough to turn it back on. She turns it on. Messages load, calls from Do-jin, texts from Do-jin, voicemails. All saying the same thing in different words. Please, come back, I need you, I'm sorry, please. The most recent is from this morning. I'm at the hospital. Room 847. If you want to talk, I'll be here. If you want me to disappear from your life, I'll do that too. Your choice, Flora. It's always been your choice. Flora stares at the message for a long time. Then she grabs her coat and heads for the door. Mina looks up. Where are you going? To make a choice, Flora says. Finally. The hospital is busy with afternoon visiting hours. Flora takes the elevator to the 8th floor, walks down the corridor to room 847. The door is ajar. Flora can see Do-jin sitting beside Yuna's bed, his head bowed, his hand holding Yuna's. They're talking quietly, and Flora can't hear the words, but she can see the affection between them. The history. The care. For a moment, jealousy flares in Flora's chest. But then Yuna says something that makes Do-jin laugh, really laugh, and Flora sees his face transform. Sees the boy he used to be. Sees the person Yuna gets to see. Flora will never have that. She'll never know the boy Do-jin was. She only gets the man he became. And maybe that has to be enough. Flora is about to knock when Yuna sees her through the open door. Their eyes meet, and Yuna smiles. Nods toward Do-jin. Mouths, go get him. Flora pushes the door open. Do-jin. He turns, and the expression on his face when he sees her is everything. Relief and fear and hope and love all tangled together. Flora, he stands, starts toward her, then stops. I didn't think you'd come. I almost didn't. Flora glances at Yuna. How are you feeling? Like I got hit by a car. Yuna's smile is weak but genuine. But alive, which is more than I should be. I'm so sorry. This should have been me. Stop. Yuna's voice is firm. I'm not a victim of your choices. I'm a victim of whatever sick game these men play. Don't take that on yourself. She's right, Do-jin says quietly. This is on me, my world, my enemies, my responsibility. He looks at Flora. Can we talk somewhere private? Flora nods, and Do-jin exchanges a look with Yuna. Then he follows Flora out into the hallway, down to a small, empty waiting room. They stand there just looking at each other. Do-jin looks terrible. Lost weight, dark circles under his eyes, the dragon tattoo stark against his pale skin. You look like hell, Flora says. I feel like hell. Do-jin runs a hand through his hair. Flora, I don't know where to start. Start with the truth, all of it. Do-jin nods. The accident was meant for you. The car that hit Yuna had been following my movements that night. They saw me leave with you, watched to see where you lived. But they lost us and picked up Yuna's car instead. Similar model, similar route. They thought they had you. Flora's hands clench. Who? We don't know yet. I have 3 factions that might want to hurt me. The Kim family, I've been cutting into their gambling territory. The Russians who think I shorted them. And theirs. He stops. There, who? My uncle, my father's brother. He thinks the business should have gone to him. He's been trying to push me out for years. Recently, he's been getting more aggressive. You think your own family tried to kill me? I think my uncle would do anything to prove I'm weak. And caring about someone, caring about you, makes me weak in his eyes. Do-jin moves closer. After we figured out what happened, I put security on everyone who matters. Yuna, her mother, my partners. And you, especially you. Without telling me. Without telling you, because I knew if I told you the truth, you'd want to run, and I couldn't let you go. His voice cracks. I know that makes me selfish, but I couldn't do it. Flora crosses her arms. Minwoo said I should leave, that you burn down the city and I'd be collateral damage. He's not wrong. I have been burning it down. I've torn apart 3 organizations in 4 days. I've started a war, and it's only going to get worse. Then why are you here? Why aren't you out there fighting? Because Yuna told me something yesterday I couldn't ignore. Do-jin finally closes the distance, hands hovering near her arms. She said I've spent my whole life surviving instead of living, that I've confused control with safety, that the reason I can't let you go isn't because I love you, it's because I'm terrified of what it means if I lose you. And what does it mean? It means I'm human. It means I'm vulnerable. It means there's something that matters more than power or control or the family business. And that terrifies me, Flora, because everyone I've ever loved has been destroyed by this life. My mother drank herself to death. My father was murdered. And now Yuna, he stops. I can't lose you too. Then stop, walk away, leave the business. It's not that simple. Why not? Because the business doesn't let you just walk away. If I try to leave, they'll see it as weakness. They'll come after everyone I care about. Jin's hands land on her arms, gentle but desperate. The only way to keep you safe is to end this, completely. Find who tried to kill you, eliminate the threat, shore up my position. And then, maybe then, I can think about a different life. How long will that take? I don't know, months, maybe a year. And what am I supposed to do? Just wait, hide. I'll keep you safe. That's not enough, Flora pulls away. I don't want to just be safe. I don't want to be locked away. I want to live. I want to build my business. I want to walk down the street without fear. I want a normal life with you. Dates and arguments and lazy Sundays, not constant danger and secrets. I can't give you that right now. Then when? Jin doesn't answer. Flora nods slowly, tears streaming down her face. I love you. God help me, I love you so much it's destroying me. But I can't do this. I can't be with someone who can't promise me a future. Don't, Jin's voice is raw, please. I'm not doing anything. I'm just being honest about what I can live with, and I can't live like this. Always wondering, always afraid, always second to whatever crisis comes next. You're not second to anything. Aren't I? You've spent 4 days with Yuna. You didn't call when she woke up. You just forgot I existed because something more important came up. That's not fair. She was in a coma because of me, because someone was trying to get to me through you. I know, and I'm grateful she's okay. But Jin, if this is what being with you looks like, I can't do it. Flora turns toward the door, and Jin's hand catches her wrist. What do you want me to do? Tell me and I'll do it, anything. Flora looks back at him. I need you to let me go. I need you to care about me enough to let me have a life that doesn't revolve around surviving your world. And if you can't walk away from this life for me, then I need you to let me walk away from you. Flora, I'm taking the job with Minwoo. I'm planning his New Year's Eve party. And after that, I'm going to keep building my business with legitimate clients who don't put my life in danger. And you need to decide what kind of life you actually want, because I can't keep waiting for you to choose me. She pulls her wrist free and walks toward the elevators. This time, Jin doesn't follow. Flora makes it to the ground floor before she breaks down, sobbing in a bathroom stall. She loves him. She loves him so much it hurts. But love isn't enough, not when it comes with a death sentence. The next week passes in a blur. Flora throws herself into work, the New Year's Eve party for Minwoo, 3 weddings, a corporate event. She works 18-hour days and doesn't let herself think about Jin. Except she thinks about him constantly. Mina checks on her daily. You look terrible. When's the last time you ate something real? Yesterday, delivery. That doesn't count. Mina confiscates Flora's laptop. We're going out, real food, no arguing. They end up at a small restaurant, and Flora picks at her food, while Mina watches with worried eyes. Have you heard from him? Mina finally asks. No, not since the hospital. And Minwoo? Professional, respectful, the party planning is going well. I'm not asking about the party, I'm asking about you. Flora sets down her spoon. I'm fine. You're not fine, you're miserable. I'm surviving. That's not the same as living. Mina takes Flora's hand. Do you regret it, walking away? Flora thinks about that, about Jin's face when she left, about the silence, about waking up every morning with an ache in her chest. No, she finally says. I don't regret it. I regret that it had to happen. I regret that loving him wasn't enough. But I don't regret choosing myself, choosing my safety, choosing a life where I don't have to constantly look over my shoulder. Even if it means losing him. Even if it means losing him. Mina squeezes her hand. I think you made the right choice, and I think he knows it too. That's probably why he hasn't contacted you. Flora wants to believe that, wants to think Jin is respecting her decision. But part of her worries his silence means something else, that he's moved on, that she was easier to let go than she thought. They finish dinner, and Mina walks Flora home. Flora's building looks normal, safe. She waves goodbye and takes the elevator up. She's halfway down the hallway when she sees him. Do-jin is sitting on the floor outside her apartment door, head against the wall, eyes closed. He's wearing jeans and a simple black sweater, no suit, no armor. The dragon tattoo peeks out from his collar, and he looks exhausted, defeated. Human. Flora's heart clenches. Do-jin. His eyes snap open, and for a moment, he just stares like he's not sure she's real. What are you doing here? Waiting for you, Do-jin stands. There's an empty coffee cup beside where he was sitting. I know you said you needed space, but I had to tell you something. What? I'm out. The words hit like thunder. I'm out of the business, all of it. The clubs, the casinos, the underground operations. I'm selling everything to my uncle and walking away. Flora's breath catches. What? You were right about all of it. I've been surviving instead of living. I've been so focused on control and power that I forgot what I was trying to protect. Do-jin takes a step closer. I don't want to be that person anymore. I want a chance at a real life with you, if you'll still have me. Flora's head is spinning. You're really walking away from everything. I'm walking toward something, toward you, toward the possibility of waking up without blood on my hands. Do-jin's eyes are bright with unshed tears. It won't be immediate. The transition will take time, but I'm done. I'm choosing you. I'm choosing us. I'm choosing life. Flora wants to believe him. God, she wants to believe him. What about your uncle, the people who tried to kill me? I found them. It was my uncle, just like I suspected. He wanted to prove I was weak. That caring about you made me vulnerable. Do-jin's jaw clenches. I didn't kill him, I wanted to, but Yuna talked me down. Said killing him would make me into everything I'm trying to escape. So instead, I gave him everything. The business, the territory, all of it, in exchange for a truce. For him leaving you alone, for letting me go. And he agreed. He agreed, because he finally got what he wanted, me out of his way. And I got what I wanted. You, safe. Flora feels tears streaming down her face. Do-jin. I know I don't deserve another chance. I know I've hurt you and lied to you and treated you like something to be managed. But if you give me one more chance, just one, I swear I will spend the rest of my life proving you were right to take it. Do-jin closes the distance, hands framing her face with gentleness that breaks her. I love you, Flora. I love you more than I've ever loved anything. And I'm ready to be the man you deserve. The man who chooses you first, every time, no matter what. Flora looks up at him, at this dangerous, beautiful, broken man who's offering her everything she's ever wanted. And she realizes something. She believes him. Not because his words are pretty, but because she can see it in his eyes, the terror and the hope and the absolute certainty that he's making the right choice. He's scared of losing her, of this new life, of who he'll be without the power. But he's doing it anyway. For her. Okay, Flora whispers. Do-jin goes very still. Okay. Okay, one more chance. But Do-jin if you hurt me again. I won't. I swear, Flora, I won't. He pulls her into his arms, holding her so tightly she can barely breathe, and Flora feels something in her chest unknot for the first time in weeks. This is what it feels like to be chosen, to be first, to be loved. They stand in her hallway like that for a long time, just holding each other, and Flora thinks maybe, just maybe, they're going to be okay. New Year's Eve arrives cold and clear. Flora canceled Minwoo's party contract after learning about his arrest. Because yes, Minwoo was arrested. Not for the hit on Yuna, but for something else entirely. Something about fraud and embezzlement that Detective Park had been investigating for months. The protection Minwoo offered had been a trap, a way to control her, to use her against Do-jin. Do-jin had been right about that, at least. Now Flora is standing on the balcony of Do-jin's penthouse, the legitimate penthouse he bought with clean money, watching fireworks explode over Seoul. Do-jin comes up behind her, wrapping his arms around her waist. Happy New Year, he murmurs against her neck. Happy New Year. They're starting fresh. Do-jin is opening a legitimate consulting firm. Flora is expanding ever after events. They're building a life together, messy and complicated and sometimes scary, but real. And as midnight strikes and fireworks paint the sky gold and silver, Flora thinks about the chocolate brown dress and the gala and the night that changed everything. About how sometimes you have to break before you can heal. about how the scariest thing is choosing to love someone anyway. The fireworks crescendo, and Do-jin turns Flora in his arms, tipping her chin up. I love you, he says. I love you, and I choose you, and I will spend every day proving you can trust me with your heart. Flora smiles, tears on her cheeks. I love you too, and I choose you too every day, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard, Do-jin agrees, and then he's kissing her, and the city is celebrating, and Flora has never felt more alive. They pull apart as the fireworks fade, breathless and smiling, and Flora is about to suggest they go inside when Do-jin's phone buzzes. He checks it and his expression changes, goes cold, alert. What? Flora asks, dread pooling in her stomach. It's from Detective Park. Do-jin's voice is tight. Minwoo escaped custody 2 hours ago. They don't know where he is. Flora's blood runs cold. What? He overpowered a guard during transfer. They're searching, but... Do-jin looks at her, and she can see the fear in his eyes. Flora, he knows where you live, he knows where you work, he knows everything. Flora's phone buzzes. Unknown number. She looks at the screen, and her world tilts. A photo of her and Do-jin on this very balcony, taken from across the street, from a building with a clear line of sight. And a message, you thought you won, you thought you were safe. But the game isn't over, Flora, it's only just begun. Happy New Year. Flora's hands shake as she shows Do-jin the phone, and she watches his face go absolutely white. Get inside, he says, voice deadly calm. Now. But it's too late. Because Flora hears it then, the sound of the penthouse door opening, the sound of footsteps in the hall. And she realizes with horrifying clarity that Minwoo isn't across the street. He's already inside. Do-jin pushes Flora behind him, his body a shield, and when Minwoo appears in the doorway to the balcony, he's smiling. Hello, Flora, Do-jin. Minwoo has a gun in his hand, casual and terrifying. Sorry to crash your celebration, but we have unfinished business. Minwoo, Do-jin starts, but Minwoo raises the gun. No, you don't get to talk, you don't get to negotiate. You took everything from me, Do-jin, my father, my legacy, and now I'm going to take everything from you. Minwoo's eyes fix on Flora, starting with her. And as fireworks continue to explode over Seoul, painting the sky in celebration, Flora realizes that some stories don't get happy endings. Some stories just get darker. And the real question isn't whether she and Do-jin will survive this. It's whether their love will.